You're telling me there's been like a lot this week. What's going on?
Yeah, I feel like kind of exhausted. Well, for one, in the day job, we just had kind of a lot of
Remind
stuff.
me, it's like an advertising company,
Yeah,
right?
I had to call me. That's
Hey,
the
let's three-way call this.
right. Just
I'm
get them
gonna
in.
guess, bro, on the spot. But
Uh,
but yeah, so you work for this advertising agency.
PR company. Yeah,
Okay.
that does. Sorry, I'm gonna text my dad doing the so a PR company that does skincare and cosmetics. So I'm like all day sending boxes out to their clients. Mm,
Do you get a discount on skincare?
I
Are you
do.
a skincare guy?
No,
Bro, you're a Hollywood actor. You have to be. That's
I
just gonna
know.
catch up to you, dude.
Aren't I ironic for an actor?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not even like a hair gel guy. Um,
You just let it all go. Roll out of bed. It's time to go.
yeah, I mean, I'm a shower guy, and I have a style, but this is what it is. Um, with that said, they are so they send stuff out to influencers on behalf of their clients. They have brands like makeup and it's mostly girl stuff. Um, but when I have a busy day, it's like we'll get 6 orders or something, and I'll have like 30 minutes on the clock and like have to just figure all this stuff out. Then I have to drop the mail off at the post office for them. I have to, you're just running around. And then um
Driving is one thing that catches up to you in LA. It's like I love keeping my home base as much here as possible because as soon as I start doing this thing and I'm going to another errand, that's where I was at. Like I was dropping off shit and it's like it just it really like wears you down in LA after a while. The way people drive, like how many cars there are, it's rough.
definitely not false. That being said, I feel like driving for me is like the sweet spot when I have to do an errand because I don't have to do it very much with this thing.
Get out
Well,
of the office.
yeah, it's an office, but now that I think about it, at the end of the day, when I have to drive stuff to the post office, and then I usually ship out stuff for Valley Mentality after that too, which I did today.
Right.
Um, I shipped something to that big director. He got back to us. His person told us where to send it to.
Amazing.
So amazing. I mean, really big. Like I had to like take a moment to appreciate that, even if no one else would tell me that's a big thing. Because just being able to have out of nowhere an interaction with one of the hippest directors in Hollywood,
Yeah.
just
Just tell
super.
me if it's Quentin.
It's Uma Thurman.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, 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 I'm kidding. Too coincidental.
Yeah.
It's not Quentin, but you're getting
Okay.
warmer.
What? Yeah. Um,
Um,
dude, so okay, so tell the audience like the stresses of having that day job and balancing your life while still like maintaining the happy, like optimistic, all that shit. What's that like for you? Bring me through that.
it's a process. Because by the way, so I did all that. Then I had to send out the Valley Mentality stuff. It's all my passions, but like, and then my dad, I filmed a sketch with him yesterday after work, and it was in the blistering hot sun. I was exhausted. He's, kind of annoying to take direction from. We were working with his friend who's kind of annoying too, very annoying. And
I love how transparent this is. Yeah.
oh
Did he,
yeah, yeah.
did you so was he shooting it or who was shooting it?
Friend
His
was shooting it. We would kind of take turns shooting it, whoever was in the shot. Um, and we did a pickleball sketch, and I
cool.
kind of do an impression of Rain Man, the movie. And he's like a pickleball genius. So he's saying like he comes to the pickleball court, he's saying all these like highfalutin statistics and stuff. Like yeah. I'm a 6.5 on the Dupa scale. Dupa scale, definitely Dupa scale. And
Your idea?
my dad came up with the idea that we should do pickleball spoofs because we're both in that world now, and my dad has a bit of a platform,
And
and
you
no one's really doing what?
and you brought the Rain Man piece to it.
You're talking originally about Scarface. We're doing impressions from Scarface, like not even just Tony Montana, but the guy Sosa. He I like you, Tony. There's no lying in you. You can play in our pickleball game Monday through Wednesdays at 7:30 o'clock. It's around a 4.5 level. But as for your associate, I picked up his stench and it stinks. And then they cut to the shot of the guy and the partner, and he's like in a helicopter ding for the movie. It might be a little too subtle of a scene for that movie.
Yeah.
That being said, we got a lot of material. Goodfellas, we're gonna do one from that. Um, but the moral of the story is like my dad's like, okay, edit this. I'm like, Dad, I don't have time to edit this today. And I'm at work. He's like, oh, your work is very easy. I'm like, that's when the boss isn't in town. Boss is in town. That was 1 week. The boss is in town. It's just mitigating. And then I had a commercial, my first
It's
commercial.
also crazy,
What's that?
not to interrupt, but editing is a time suck. Like, I know very few people who love editing. The act of like actually sitting down and starting to edit, to me, is the most difficult fucking thing in the world. Even harder than writing. And writing is fucking excruciating, like sitting in front of that keyboard. But dude, when it comes to editing, I got like this edit. I mean, bro, I've been procrastinating for weeks. I need to deep on it. But yeah, so continue. So you didn't edit the thing. You had this audition, like this commercial thing.
Yeah. And that just added to the tiresome. So like I get it the same day. I did that yesterday morning. Pretty much can do it by myself. Is for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Dude, that payday would be fucking clutch.
You're telling me, man. I'm very appreciative of it. It was like 4 takes of like me like eating chicken and being excited. Super hyped. And then didn't do the edit. And I had to do something else. And like today more the same. And now my friends are in town from Dallas. And I try to get work off like half day tomorrow. I had to finish my Valley Mentality drawing for this thing that we're doing next week. It's just like a lot of little
Got a
things.
lot of moving pieces. And you know, dude, the thing about like singularity of tasks versus having to like switch up between things, the way that human brains work is like the more that you toggle back between different tasks, which everything you just described is like not related, that's when it starts to get exhausting. Like if you have a block of time where you're like, I'm just editing and that's all I'm doing, it's way easier on the mind than if during that 3 hours you're like, I'm doing Valley Mentality, I'm doing day job, I'm doing this edit, I'm doing the fucking
work. Even getting the workout in the morning. I'm working out at 7:30 a.m. It's all gravy. That's fantastic. A lot of people have it a lot worse, but it is why I'm tired. And just
keep that. I keep that burning passion for the art when you're
so how do I?
Yeah.
I literally find myself at times like getting pissy, and I literally tell myself I count on a list like what I'm thankful for.
Wow, dude, that's big.
Simple as that. I'm literally like, thank you that I can see, that I can hear, that I have a dad that I have a dad that wants to film stuff with me, that and that all these things. I have a job because I know how it is when you don't have a day job and it's like scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these things, man.
Gratitude goes a long way, but it's hard to manufacture that at times.
Yep, it's the same thing like editing and writing. It always comes out of thin air and it feels tedious.
Dude, I want to update you on like a switch up and approach I'm doing. I've got basically I'm trying to pair a really strong screenplay with a really strong proof of concept of a short that'll be shot for something like 20K, which is completely different from what I've done like for 100+ shorts before, where I'm always trying to like scrape the bottom of the barrel.
Love it. Yeah.
I realized this from myself, and we've talked about this too, where you've even been like, why aren't you just like going like total cinematic, the best possible thing you can make? And what I ended up realizing is like it's my comfort zone for being like, yeah, let me just stay to myself, not ask anyone for money. Like, let me just like make my own thing and just keep grinding and all this shit and just put
you
it
have
on.
a system. You have a system in place, so it'll take a little work to like break that open.
And the system has been going for like 3 years consistently, so it's like a paradigm shift. I I've got this friend, my producer Ken has been awesome with this stuff. We've been talking back and forth. I've got this guy, Brian, who I know from my days at Blumhouse, who he's doing a lot of producing and thinking that macro level. And dude, what it comes down to for me is like I've now got the library, I've got the numbers. It's literally now a matter of me just selling myself. But it's easy to do because I have this concept now that wouldn't I like there's no possible way I could shoot it for $0. And it's the thing I'm most excited about. It's the thing that I'm writing now. I'm getting up again at 4:30 and fucking grinding for 3 hours because that's the only way I can finish screenplays. So that's where I'm at. It's singularity of focus and vision. No more fucking like how many more, bro? Like 500 shorts? That's not the approach. Like I could stick in YouTube for the rest of my life, but at the end of the day, if I want to make a living out of this, I got to play up to that next level. Yeah. And what that next level is, bro, here's the last missing ingredient that's fucking crucial. A big reason why I'm making this raise for, and I'll be talking to investors and shit for this short, which is a proof of concept, is because I'm going to get a name talent. And that shit makes all the difference when it comes to packaging and having a short and having this credibility. If I have a script that I knock out of the fucking park that's tied to this, that has like a Kathy Bates or someone on that level who's in the short who would come on for a day for 10 grand, then like that's the move. It's just like Whiplash with J.K. Simmons, you know?
I also think some people like that would do your short for not much money. Like, I think they'll throw you a bone if it's that cool of a script, if they like you. If you get sold by someone that knows them. All connections, which I know some people in England that like made these short films from Bristol Old Vic, and like one they got like Ben Whishaw. I was like, how the hell did they get Ben Whishaw? And they didn't end up doing anything with it. I was flabbergasted. Like it was such a good short, and it was going to be a series anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean, they should definitely do something with that because that's like the biggest. It's all about packaging stuff. It's like, how do you get to that next tier? It's by having the credibility of like, oh, wow, this person wanted to be in your thing. And it's time, bro. Like, I'm ready. Like, it's time to jump off into the deep end. It's time to be in the big leagues. Like,
I'm excited for you. We just met with this kid, our buddy's friend that's going to be our third roommate, most likely.
Nice.
He's a agent slash producer.
Who left?
Cam's leaving.
Got you. Is he moving in with?
Talked about that, right? No,
Yeah.
they're actually moving to Austin, Texas.
No way.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go visit him.
The Great Migration.
Yes. It's happening an awful lot these days. Yeah, his job was crazy, so yeah, I'm happy for him. He finally axed the job, picking up shop. They're moving to Austin.
Wow.
And yeah. Yeah. And so we met with this kid yesterday who's our buddy Ryan Fine, who's a film financer. It's his friend, and he's been saying I should meet this guy for a long time. And he's they're at Cannes Film Festival together. This guy's a mover and shaker. He's great. So he's already telling me about his buddy who's a director who I should work with and stuff. Like this guy, it'll probably be a good dude for us to talk with and stuff. Oh, like he knows financiers off the wazoo.
Yeah.
Equity people.
There you go. They're there, bro. It's all there. It's just a matter of like making the ask. The worst thing that can happen is they say no. And like that's the most cliche fucking thing in the world, but it's so true. And it's why a lot of people don't make it to the next level because they feel like they can't. And like the few that do are the ones who make all the moves. And so for me, like putting my producer cap on, I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, we've got this great fucking library. We've got this audience. We have a proven track record, unlike anyone else my age, like straight up. And so because of that, it's tangible evidence of like, it's time to now go. And it would have to be the right concept. I'm stoked about this thing. But yeah, dude, your point of like, this guy knows a bunch of financiers and It's a whole world that creatives usually don't even try to access. But that's how you make everything happen. And I would love to just be able to like walk on a set, but that's not the way that this industry works. One day it's going to be like that. But for the time being, it's like you gotta make shit happen and really think like a producer.
It's true. It's true. Anyway,
What about you if you were to pair yourself, like if you were to produce a short that's really top tier, high end, you get the financing for it, and you're acting opposite like a legend, why don't you do that?
like, if I was acting,
Imagine that being in your self tape, bro. Like you have fucking Al
you
Pacino.
or Bradley Cooper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen.
But dude, the thing is, like, as you look off in the distance, it's like maybe one day. It's like if you pay Bradley like 100, I mean, this is a fucking ridiculous.
It
He's
wouldn't
like,
be about the money. It wouldn't be about the money for him. We just like get to him. I'd have to know someone that knew him. And
I mean, that's always an angle, right? But it's also like the merging of the two things. Like there's a certain price for everyone at the end
yeah,
of the day. Anyone and when you think about it in terms of shorts, which is all that we need to get to that next level, it's like how much is a day rate like for these people? If they're just coming on for a few hours, but they're still in the film, that's all you need. And it's you're just paying them for a few hours.
I think a lot of these people, like when I do see, it's usually more like hipster celebrities or people that are trying to compensate for being sort of vanilla and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do some indie short with like some up and coming director. Uh it's usually it happens to fit their schedule. They know the person, bada bing, bada bang. Maybe they want to be part of something that's sick.
And now's the time too, because while the strikes are happening, SAG has this
Yeah.
deal with indie producers where you're able to submit stuff like certain forms and you can get approved and no one's working now and no one has schedule conflicts. So like
Wow.
that's the time.
So maybe Bradley Cooper.
That's the move. That's the play. You and Bradley,
My uncle knows him.
of course.
Dude, I've been watching this. My uncle's doing a TV show on Benjamin Franklin and his time in France with Michael Douglas.
Interesting. Is he playing Franklin?
Yeah. At the time of when he was like in his late 70s, during the Revolutionary War,
Actually, I could see that. Yeah.
he was the liaison guy that was over in France trying to convince them to help American colonies in the revolution. And he ended up being there for like 4 years, just like hanging out while he was sitting out, waiting out the war, telling the French, like, hey, look at what battle we won this week. Don't you want to help us now that we have a little more proof that we can win? And it was a fascinating time for Franklin, I guess. But why I bring it up is because I ended up watching this documentary, coincidentally, on Benjamin Franklin. And 2 episodes, PBS. I just recorded it, whatever, because I got sucked in 10 minutes. It's so good. I don't know if you're a history guy at all.
Not so much, but I love the passion.
Oh,
Dude,
it
I
was,
mean, you brought up this passion project you wanted to do about like TDR.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this documentary is from Ken Burns, documentarian. I didn't like Ken Burns' documentary on the Roosevelts, and that was like my specialty in college. I mean, I'm sure he knows much more, obviously, but I didn't love what he highlighted in his documentary on them. The Benjamin Franklin one by Ken Burns, whew, I was floored. It is the best refresher on the Revolutionary War I've had. It just made it so dramatic, just so harsh how everything went down and so human. There's so many moments, like Franklin got humiliated in England after being the number one American in England. He was the original US celebrity after the electricity recognition, when he kind of made it official that lightning in the sky it's actually electrified. It's the molecules And he invented all these terms like conductive and stuff. Anyway, I could go on and on.
You
But
gotta
that's
do something. I think it's hilarious that your uncle is working on something like that. It sounds like a dope project, but like you've got, does he have the same like passion for this kind of stuff? He must if he's taking something like that on.
probably not.
Just a good package.
Just a good package. He's always been a huge history guy. Yeah. He loves like the history of New York, as does my whole family.
Have you thought of like thinking about passion projects? Is there anything that you're even like playing with writing right now?
Pickleball, TikTok.
Yeah. What about that one about the school that you're co-writing with your English friend? Is
Yeah.
where's that at? Do you have like a pilot or where's it at?
Yeah, we have a pilot, we have a pitch package, we have everything. I mean, we had it with a producer, attached with a producer. We were shopping it around. I mean, I think about it all the time. Same thing, it just needs to get in the right hands.
Right hands, or you could during the strike find someone famous to act in your pilot, make the ask, get the funds.
And just shoot it.
Yeah. Why don't you just shoot the pilot?
That might be the next step. That might be the next step. Cause like we want it to be authentic to England and like shot in England and stuff, but
I mean,
yeah,
to be there for it, do you have to be on set?
I'm starring it.
Oh, okay.
So
So is that required that it has to actually shoot in England, or are there some like similar areas you could get shots here?
I mean, there's no like landmarks, like it's not like we're having it take place in London, but could we do some stuff similar here? I mean, some of it's supposed to be in California for sure as well. It's dual, I mean, it's literally like my story, an exaggerated version of my story, much exaggerated. Um, so it shows him with his family in LA and then England. It's kind of high production value.
What does that mean to you? What is high production value to you? It means something to me, but I want to hear your take.
Yeah, like there's a scene where, well, for obvious reasons, you can cheat this though. Like there's a scene where I think they're like at Nobu, but maybe we change that. And then
Have the name Nobu.
yeah, that type of thing. And then when he goes to England, just honestly just that like it's raining when he like goes into his new flat. Uh and
Dude,
then
you know what? You could go up to Lancaster, California, like an hour up.
yeah,
While it's like raining and probably knock out something similar.
or just use like a rain machine.
Yeah, you know what?
Use a hose.
Yeah. We used a like the feature that I shot that probably isn't gonna see the light of day was her mom or her dad, the producer's dad, made his own like homemade rain machine just from a YouTube video. And it looked realistic as fuck. He just got like PVC pipes that he like made in some kind of structure. And the way that it looked on set, it was like, God damn, it was straight up raining. And it covered like a really far, like there was this wide shot we did at night. We made it rain in front of a church and it looked fucking great.
I love that. No, it's funny. About thinking about it for 2 seconds, and now it's kind of becoming clear to me. You just shoot it kind of like right before dark, that it looks like it's like kind of dreary.
You know what's interesting, bro? Because I do this all the time. And it's even like what we were talking about at the top, where I'm not thinking about like bigger picture of, okay, no, let me start getting funds, whatever. But like we put our own like mental blocks at certain parts of like, or like how we think about things. And it's crazy to really think about like how many of those are self that you just put on yourself. Like they're self-inhibited. Like
Yeah.
it's not like actual obstacles. It's just straight up if you like switch up your perspective and go in like slightly different angle than like, oh wait, no, I actually can accomplish this. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like whatever is your priority, like what's next in line.
Sure. I 100%, man. I'm still analyzing this too. Now I'm thinking maybe it is worth it for me to go to England and shoot this.
Why not? How expensive is a flight to England? And you could probably stay with them.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
Yeah,
with you, right? Or was that someone else?
what's that?
Didn't he stay with you and your mom, or was that someone else?
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do not have to worry about lodging in England, fortunately. That's some of my best buddies. That being said, it would be a dream. I'd love to just go to England. I've been trying to get back, but I'd probably have to get a budget together. We'd pay these actors, we'd get locations. I mean, we could get a crew together too. Probably 10 G's. Maybe I split it with Dimitri.
You could split it, fine. That's how most people do it, or they just put on credit cards and shit. But and if you have the means, go for it. But like also, dude,
Raise some money.
the money's out there. And it's I'm not even talking crowdfunding. Like you can do that too, but all the money is out there. And it's just a matter of it's like a numbers game. And it's like rough. That process is rough and intimidating when you're starting out. And I haven't even really scraped the surface, but I'm about to. It's just a matter of like reaching out to people. Because there are so many people who aren't in this space who want to be a part of it. It's not even about a return on their investment necessarily. Like there are people.
Dude, I just think I'd have so much fun shooting it. Like it'd be a dream to see this thing come to life.
Then fucking go for it, bro.
At least the British stuff. The British stuff would be a dream to see come to life. I've thought about that for a while. Just like this is a waste that we're not doing this.
Yeah.
That way with Duke of the Valley too, but yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, like, people need that proof of concept. Like the big wigs need to see, like, if you're not a nobody, but like you're at a certain level right now where it's like, okay, you have this entire Bible and entire like pilot written out. It's like, do you know how much that costs to like put on its feet? For them to invest in you, it's got to be a product that is worth their investment.
Yep.
That they can really see it. And like the thing is about Hollywood, like execs and stuff, is like they have a hard time seeing like a point A and then being like, oh yeah, no, that could turn into a point B. It's like it's got to be of like if I want to get a feature on its feet, I got to make a short that literally looks as cinematic and as high production value as the feature would in those 5 minutes, because then they're like, oh, A equals A. They're not able to go to, oh, A, and then maybe, yeah, when we give them resources, it could be a B.
I know.
It's not
I don't blame them either. Like
I don't either. Yeah.
People are really.
I mean, getting the comparable thing though is extremely difficult. But I mean, this is like the most competitive industry in the world. So what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. What else has been going on with you, brother?
Man, I've just been in it, bro, trying to get stuff out. I haven't had a lot of time for downtime. It's been I've got this short coming out tomorrow that's properly set up. We shot it in December. So I'm stoked about that. It's been like a long post process.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's me. Just like
wait. Why is it taking so long? Tell us about it.
You know what? We had a hold up on sound. The sound stuff took like 3 months, which is a lot for what it was. Yeah, we were like dealing, like people on the crew were like dealing with illnesses and shit. Like it just all this shit hit the fan that was like you're not able to control. But yeah, all the pieces like finally came together. So how about you, dude? You got pickleball? I hear that. That's going well, yeah.
Oh, bigger than ever. It goes in waves, as all things do. Like I've taken a little bit of a break this week. I'm playing in a private game tomorrow. So hyped. That being said, dude, I have I have this Lifetime movie supposed to be coming out that like every day on IMDb I see new updates of it and stuff. Like I think I did a good job with it. I'm super kind of excited for that to come out.
Where's it coming out on? Like Lifetime, the channel?
Yeah.
Dude,
And probably on Amazon as well. Obviously, I'll notify everyone.
me too, bro. I'm excited to see. Is that the frat one or is that something else?
No. And then the frat one
Got all these projects, bro, in the air. They're all gonna hit.
in the air. Thank you.
What's the frat one? When's that coming out?
I haven't heard any updates lately, but the a couple people mentioned there's gonna be like a LA screening for it, and I don't know. I hope something big with it. Blaine said I was good in it and that it came out good. And I was just with my friend the other day, and she was like, she read this book called Malibu Rising, which is about this like surf family. And she's like, Duke, you were like made for this. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't see like the cliche surfer necessarily. And she's like, doesn't matter. Like, you know it so well. And then we looked it up, and of course, it's like already being made into a TV series, and it's just like I should try to get a part of it for sure.
They haven't started casting yet.
No idea. No idea.
Can you find out? I mean, is there any information of anyone attached?
Yeah, there's like I haven't done enough research. There's a Deadline article on it, so I should look up the people that are involved.
That'd be wild. I think that like going back to that singular focus on things, if you put like a ton of energy into one thing, one project, you tend to like go in that direction. The universe kind of bends around you.
That HBO surfing show that still hasn't come out, I wasn't quite right for the part, I guess, somehow. But it was like a surfing pilot about Hawaii, and there was a part in it. Originally, my manager said I wasn't like there was no parts in it for me. And a friend told me about it. I was like, why is a friend telling me about this? And my manager was like, oh, there's no parts in it for you. It's all Hawaiian. I read it. I get a hold of the script. Of course, there's a part for 25-year-old kid from Newport Beach trying to be a lifeguard that ends up becoming like a TikToker out there and doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm like, bro, you fucking kidding me?
What do you say to your rep?
My rep, I let her off easy, obviously.
Of course.
Didn't want her to feel bad. But so then I get the script and she's like, well, I'll try to get you an audition. Bro, I look up the producers. I see that one of them somehow, I looked him up on Instagram. He was a fan of Eileen's and he DM'd us or something, me in the past. That's the universe right there.
Wow. Wow.
I think it's fate. And so I messaged him and I get an audition from that guy.
You got that audition.
Straight up, I got that audition.
Wow, dude.
I get the audition. I fucking bust my ass. Like, just go off as hard as I could. It's still a great audition, I think. And they ended up they told the guy, I met with the guy too. They're like, not quite right for it, but it was a great audition. What else are they gonna say? But the guy who ended up getting it was like an Aussie who just looked more like a husky, like surfer.
Yeah.
So fair play, but isn't that just like it's that type of stuff, bro?
That's it, man. And you made that happen. Like, yeah, the universe, fate, and all this stuff, but you took the initiative to really go down that rabbit hole. And I worked for an agency for like 5 months and I saw it, bro. You know what it ends up happening is like the assistant kind of goes through breakdown, casually submits everyone on the roster, doesn't really tailor anything. The agent is mostly dealing with contracts of things that have already come through. You taking that initiative is crucial because you never know what's really going on behind the scenes.
The only chance you really got, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least I can't say that I'm not, throwing those Hail Marys out there.
That's it, bro. And I think you should try to wrap your mind around this pilot too. If you can make that happen, like,
Amen, man. I appreciate that.
yeah,
Good stuff in the works, man. This is a good pep talk right here.
I like it. Got a lot of shit moving.
We do.
Great seeing you as always.
As always, my man. Have a great one.
All right, dude. You too.
Talk to you later. Peace.
Bye.